we go. I have this Philodendron Glorious still in its original pot, which it got sold to me in. The substrate is, I think, soil, orchid bark and perlite. So I'm going to get rid of this gently into the bin and then begin to rinse out the soil. Now this is a little bit of a process. You have to really take your time and be gentle with it because you do not want to damage any of the roots. I have lukewarm water here so it wouldn't shock the roots, and then I gently massage all the old soil out of it. This is also a good time to check if there's any roots that haven't made it and they've become a bit mushy or rotten. This is good to get rid of them. Gently scrape it away with your nail or clip the old root off that is not great anymore. Roots are looking good, I'm happy with that. It doesn't have to be completely spotless with soil gone, but that is because I'm not going into leca, I am going into pon. This is pon. I got this from Lechuza, which I think is based in Germany. I give the pon a bit of a rinse through before I use it, just because it seems to have a lot of kind of, not mud, but residue that's on the stones. Now I know the stones do have food in them, so it's not to wash all the goodness away from the stones, but just to do a little rinse, getting rid of any excess dust or dirt and to make the pond wet, which will suit the roots when they go into it and encourage them to spread out. I'm going for a clear pot so I can keep an eye on the roots and I can check if any of them ever rot. Also, if you have a clear pot, you can really see if the pond is wet or dry. It's very obvious when the pond's dry because all the colours become very dusty, chalky looking and not as intense. So yeah, I would always recommend a clear pot when using pond. To encourage new growth, I then go in with sphagnum moss. Now you can pick this up at any pet store or Amazon. This one is terrarium moss. So I get a big bunch of this, I wet it in the sink, and then I place it around the base of the plant. Well, the bit that's popping up out of the pond. Since I've been doing this on my Aroids, I've found big success with growth points popping up. I don't know what it does, but I feel like it's a cushion and it makes the plant comfortable in a humid environment, having that moss around where the aerial roots are. You tend to end up seeing new growth quicker. I use Baby Bio orchid food for my Aroids food, and I also use distilled water. These guys have all been in pon since July, so that's a good 4 months now. So I'm going to give them a flush, which I haven't done before. Flushing is really good because it gets out all the old salts from any water or old food or just generally anything that doesn't need to be in there. So yeah, I'm going to flush through everything, clean the leaves, dust them, and then I will go in with my distilled water and orchid food and give them one last feed before the winter. The water that's in the bottom of these pots is from where I watered them with distilled water and their food. I'll leave this water and food in the pots for the rest of the day, and then I'll tip it out at the end of the day because it's coming to winter, it's a little bit cooler, and I don't want my plants sitting in water. Now here is a little bonus. So I killed my melanochrysum last year. Basically it started to rot. I do not know why. Anyway, I cut off the top and I've successfully rooted what was left of it. So I'm really happy with this. I've been rooting it in distilled water with 1 drop of orchid feed into that glass. I'm really happy with the roots. They're fuzzy, white and healthy. So I'm going to continue leaving it in the water for maybe a few more weeks, depending on how quickly they grow. But I'm not quite ready to put it into pond yet because I would like a little bit more of a root system. Here is a leaf that I think is going to come through, so I'll keep you updated on that. Very exciting. Just a note to anyone that's propagating in water, if you're using tap water, you really should be changing the water once a day because of the salts and other things. If you're using distilled water or bottled water, you are able to leave it a few more days. I've been changing mine every 4 days and it seems absolutely fine. Obviously always check it, make sure there's not mold in it, keep checking those roots, make sure none of them are going brown or rotting. Currently I'm using my LED ring light as a growth light for my plants and I'm having a lot of success with it, so guys, don't knock it.